Things continue apace. I'm hoping... It's been a while since I've tamed an actual volcano. Even a minor one. It's free stuff, and I still want to do it. That's got 6 cycle. I just didn't start soon enough on this one. On this gigantic mess. This room was way too big and had way too much steam. I'm trying. This guy geotuned twice, so he's cranking out at... It's not bad. 423 grams a second constantly, and with no dupe labor or water involvement. Right? This doesn't turn on very often. Because I had to shrink all of this. And I'm still... It's certainly tamed. The heat's been dealt with. As you can tell, it's heading off to somewhere. I love exploits. If they're in the game, I'm going to use them. Put this oil to work. This is being slowly siphoned off. That's working. That's going. That goes up. I had my natural gas ran dry because everything was running too often. I had way too much stuff going. I was trying to run a bunch of sweepers to clean up the bottom half of the map, and it blew through all of my power. So, because I have a... Oh, that's still going up. When I started this, I was like 5,000 kilos per... So that's both of the hydrogen vents. I pulled them out of here, put them all over here. I also had to expand. I had to corner build a bunch of stuff and dig in, and... So that's, what? 8,000 watts. Current load's still pretty high. There's a lot of stuff going on. That potential load bothers me. I am not quite sure how that... No, I get it. I have a mountain of loaders and sweepers and pumps and filters and all this nonsense. I can tell you how many aqua tuners going. That's almost done. Now we're able to see how poorly I've planned this out. I did make sure to leave myself a way in for when things go wrong. I'm going to turn that off first. I want this to steam the room up before I start moving anything. What? You said you were ready. I gotta sit here and wait another 4 seconds. You turd. I was all prepared for that. I suppose while I wait for that, probably time I did this. I haven't got to that one yet. I gotta... What I could do, it would suck, but I could do it. Nope, it's not hot enough coming off of there. Gotta heat up. What did I use the last time I did this? Mercury? Bunch of real hot mercury, I think. It's got to come out at, what, 300 degrees? This thing is on. Powering up. I've got these two guys all ready. Yes, everything's all liquid locked because I felt like it. Rather than climate control the whole thing. I mean, Looking at it, I probably could have. I could have put one water lock down here and kept that whole thing cool for other operations, but if that happens, we'll do it. Temperature's only 64. It's kind of just the average temperature down here. I don't really have much of a way down here to like heat water just to, like I'd have to tepidize it. That seems like kind of a waste of time. That or run. Not that it matters. They're all tied in. If I do that, these are all tied in back here. So all of that hot water should come out 95, stay there. So the next run ought to be a lot hotter. I'm not sure what I'm going to run. It's got to get up to 300 degrees, right? And at that point it's not water anymore. You gotta, like, heat petroleum. Crude or petroleum. And rather than... How would that take? 14 tons. Coming out at... Marine's in there somewhere, I know. So... It would take a very long time to fill it up with hot crude. I will have to come up with something. But this will be on your free power. I'm not really going to turn on the sweepers and the loaders just yet. Turn it on! And it's going to hork out a bunch of salt and rust and dirt and crud that's all blocked in the line. This is hopefully going to stop stuff from getting too far away while still allowing steam through. That's a 2 and change. That's not bad. What's your problem? Oh, right, because I wanted to keep some heat in there. That's what my plan with that one. That's what my plan was. Yeah, the idea was to keep some heat in there. Like some not. If you let them go, they'll suck out all the pressure. They'll eat all the steam and everything goes down. But then you're still running... Right, you're still running sweepers and loaders. And if these things eat all the steam, they're in a vacuum. And then they overheat and break. So those are doing well. They'll fill back up. It's slightly hotter water. That's 850 times 4, 32, 30, 3,400. If I put doors on this to be a power station, but I don't think anyone's going to come down here to tune it. That's 3,400 watts of static load. Static power. How are you doing? You're still going to go down because we're using away a lot more than 34, aren't we? It's our draw. God, that's a lot of draw. And it's all friggin' like... stuff like this and stuff like that. And it'll help. It'll conserve a lot of other things. We won't go... The problem... we won't go through as much stuff that was already essentially infinite. Because that's the logic we're going to use. Nope, I don't want. metal tiles. I want this because you're already causing you're already causing carbon dioxide to condense. That's going to be shockingly cold. We got two and change cycles. Okay. Steam's nice and hot. That's just keeping that cold. I will need... So this guy here... Okay, let's plug this on. That. You will take everything. Pick all that junk up. All that... Whatever you want to do. It's going to get us a little bit of salt and a little bit of dirt and a little bit of rust. And, I suppose I should finish blocking this in now that I don't have to worry about it. I didn't think about that. You have the same problem. I also have to decide... If I don't block this in, that's a bunch of heat escaping, which is really unfortunate. Oh, I know how I can fix that. Deconstruct that. We'll build a bridge over top of it. Lock in both ends. It's probably... I don't know quite enough about how the way conveyor stuff works as to whether or not this is going to allow heat to escape. I'm hoping it won't. We'll find out here in a minute. Because I know it sort of magically transfers stuff from here to there. Turn that on. You grab everything. So I can see like almost the whole room. I'm gonna pick stuff up. Across there. So that it does work like that. So the conveyor bridge will probably pick up a bunch of heat, right? Thing's freaking out again. It's weird how the whole thing freaks out, but the wheel doesn't. This thing's kind of wub wub wub. The wheel holds perfectly still. So we're probably going to pick up... Well, no. You know what? The conveyor bridge is rapidly trying to heat up to meet the atmosphere. So... all that stuff... comes through the first brick, which is only cooled with polluted water. Minor cooling. And then up here, I swapped out all of this iron with aluminium. Because holy wow, did we wind up with a lot of that after running stuff. This... I had iron, and iron would slowly heat up after a while. Aluminium eats heat a lot nicer. So we're already... Yeah, this is down to like minus 60. But that'll hit into the base... Like, that'll hit into the base colder than the base currently is. And I'm glad to get that going because... Thermal. Just the one going. We knew this was going to happen eventually. Right? This was going to happen eventually. It's going to eat all of this. And then we'll have to... How to do it? We do it out here in the vacuum. Where did this carbon dioxide come from? Why is there CO2 here? How did that get inside? How? I bet it's when, god damn it, when I did this. So now I've got a bunch of 1200 degree carbon dioxide in here. That's actually kind of easy to fix. I could just, well, no, if I pop that open, it's going to get out and cause problems. Grumble, 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 grumble. Can I deconstruct this from here? Can you reach that? Oh, priority unreachable. Well, poo. You can take tiles apart, but you can't do that. Oh, real. Well, that's going to be an issue until I can get in there. Thankfully, it's just CO2. It's not causing much of a problem. The thermal spike is eating most of the heat on its own. But then we'll just hack it all up and we'll have to manually load it. I'll have to build a... Let's do this. If I build a steam room down here, they can just dump stuff into, and then it goes up into there. We'll eventually get it all. We'll get it all eventually. Oh, hang on. Rising. Up some 0.7 cycles. Hopefully this works. You have nothing to transfer, so you're not going to pick anything up, put it away. I want a billowing pile of steam in here is what I want before I do anything. That can lay on the ground and hopefully not turn into a tile. God, I hope not. This is... you are... refilling... a good rate. It's a nice little mini game. Pays off nicely. What happened here? Oh, it's when I built that. Point 4. This is... I could tune this. One more time for the 25 degrees. 380 for the whole bunch. At the cost of abyssalite and dupe labor, which I'm not opposed to. Might be able to scavenge a bit more heat off of it. Right now it's like... watch, 200. That barely runs the pump and the filter. Running iron. Aluminum's coming through here. What is aluminum's melt point before I... okay, you're no problem. Yeah, the aluminum cools off here, picks up heat, loses heat. I just wish this thing didn't overheat. Overpressurize so fast. If I could keep some in here, that'd be great. What are you doing? A minute. Less than a minute because we're at triple speed. I bet you know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to turn into a tile on me. It's going to make a tile. I have to go in and dig it out. Because every... there's the steam. Now that you're full of steam, start moving things. Don't let that stuff coagulate. What melted? Ladder conveyor. Oh, no. Really? Oh, I bet I had a frickin'... I bet. Add an iron ore conveyor rail in there. Well, how hard are you? 3 and change? We won't get past this crude oil. Let's get in there and try to rescue it. Shipping. Steel. Yet for not doing this right the first time. There are 15 cycles? Yeah, that's a lot of... It's running hard, though. We're staying below 270. If I get some of the stuff out of here, this wouldn't be failing. If I could have done it the first... Alright, with a little bit of use of the get it goddamn done now button. Got under control. Yeah, come on. You can do it in there. Hopefully I get all this junk out of here before this goes off again. Shouldn't melt anything, but there's the potential for it to turn into a big tongue of lava once more. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running full bore, 8, 51, 5.1 megawatts of standing power. Or more. So current draw. What else is running? That's kind of running. That's kind of running. Oh, those guys are running. These guys kick in infrequently. That's kind of going. Well, okay. My next plan. Got 2 more volcanoes to box in. Oil wells to tap. Not that we're worried about crude anytime soon. I am very slowly being reminded to turn off the emergency button after an emergency. Slowly pushing all this liquid and debris forward so it'll be easier to pick up. Got some slicksters. Not sure I'm going to farm them. Farm it? I like slicksters. They're cute little buggers. The problem comes when you have to constantly look after them. Their metabolism goes up and they eat all the carbon dioxide. Not producing a whole lot of carbon dioxide. We make 500 kilo per second. These guys eat... How much do you eat in the wild? 20 kilos per cycle. Doesn't tell me if that's a tamed version. Anyway, become a bit of a pain in the butt because they just seem to eat all the CO2 and then you're out of CO2 again. Which is weird because running out of CO2, see, that doesn't seem like a problem you should have. Now that I think about it, of all the things for this place not to have, it doesn't have a CO2 vent. That's weird, because every other time I've played one of these frozen maps, it has a CO2 vent. Huh. that gives me... I'll tame this oxygen vent eventually. I won't need it for anything. That's the problem, is what am I going to do with it? It's 500 degrees, so even if I cool it with like a steam turbine, it's still going to be 100 and some degrees. It's not going to make enough to feed puffs to make slime. Like, what do I do with it? The only time I've ever actually, I don't even want to say tamed, I mean just used a hot polluted oxygen vent. It showed up in a, oh my, this is a long time ago. It showed up with a cold biome between it and where all my dupes were at the time. So I just let it push all that polluted air through the cold biome. The cold biome killed off all the germs, and I put a couple of deodorizers there. It did eventually melt the entire ice biome, but that was like my third or fourth playthrough. I was doing absolutely terrible. What's your problem? Oh, fertilizer. Yeah, okay. That'll get dealt with. This is a, so originally, when I gouged out the bottom of this, there was a whole bunch of sour gas, polluted oxygen, and hydrogen. And I just left this vent open, so it's all slowly vent outside. It got down to like 50, 60 grams a piece. Which unfortunately isn't enough atmosphere when you want to start running like, you know, power transformers out in the open. So I took this dumb setup I had. I had 60 tons of frozen carbon. I still have a ton of like liquid carbon dioxide. For no real reason, to be honest. Oh, it's an 18C. But when I start dropping that out of there, it's gonna explode a pipe. So I just brought 60 tons of CO2 down here, dropped it in the water, and it blew up. Briefly cooled everything down for a little bit, and then pushed all of this gobbledygook up into all the top corners of the world. And I'm kind of slowly just kind of corner building it to delete it. I know it's a dumb way to deal with a problem. Like, I would hesitate to call it even dealing with the problem. But rather than vacuum it all out, it seems it would actually take less time to just corner build it all into oblivion. Like, okay, that's nice. There's some hydrogen gas there, but there doesn't need to be. Like, I can use game mechanics to just get rid of stuff. It's not an issue, to be honest. Given how long it takes things to save as it is, I suppose any amount of stopping gases from floating around is probably a good idea. Settle down? God, it's going to take forever to clear all this stuff out of here. Maybe I should have put another turbine up. Things to do with the other ones. I think there's a minor or a major? It's a regular volcanoes. Yeah, that's gonna be a 3 turbine setup. A lot of heat eating. But I guess given where they are, box, I can build a single cooling brick for them. Or shipping them out. It's going to take a while, and I think I am way low on steel. way low on steel. The weird part is, like, we've got 60 tons of iron. We have 1,000 tons of iron ore. And I'm hesitant to start converting that all into iron. Just to do this. Oh. Just queue it up at least. I also do kind of like that, I don't know if I'd never noticed this before, but it doesn't take dupe labor to run a kiln? Is it always like that? These things just sit there and crank out and never had to worry about it. Well, I'm gonna let another several hundred cycles go by. I should probably build a rocket. Because I want to try some of the interesting high-end research junk. Like the data miner. They came out in the... over here, this thing. The bionic pack. Like, I would like to try these things because they're there. I'm probably not going to make any bionic dupes, but I'd like to try those. But I've only got... Why do you bother differentiating temperatures? So what do I have? 60, almost 70 databanks? 70 is... I should know how goddamn many points each one is worth, and I've never kept track of it. I've got every other... Have all the other rocket stuff dealt with? That I need? Yeah, so I should be able to build a CO2 rocket. Send it up. Give someone a bunch of pemmican, and then just leave them up there to make databanks for a while. Do that. Then I can come back and I can try to see how that data miner and that stuff works. We'll find out, provided I don't blow the colony up in the meantime. I'll see you in the future.